Go ahead. Just introduce yourself, if you would, please.
I'm Anna. I'm a freshman.
Oh, you're a freshman?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right. Awesome.
Anything else?
Wait, are we allowed to say freshman anymore? I saw something on. You say you're first year student. You're first year student.
I'm a first year.
Oh my God! See how oppressed you are as a woman. Like you used freshman. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Anyway, you're first year. What do you major? What do you study?
I'm majoring in economics.
Economics.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Oh, I'm from Pennsylvania, by
Hey.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Wait, what's your ancestry, by the way?
Chinese and German.
Chinese and German. Who's Chinese? Who's German?
My mom's Chinese and my dad's German.
Cool. Where'd they meet, by the way?
Philly.
In
They met
Philly?
working.
Yeah.
She's a pharmacist.
Cool. All right, bro.
So, my name's Aziz. I'm a sophomore, chemical engineering, and I'm French Tunisian.
French and Tunisian.
No,
And you're-
no, French Tunisian.
Oh, French Tunisian. Right. Okay. Oh, wait. Hang on. I got to turn my thing on.
So like the part of Tunisia where we speak more French than we do Arabic. So,
And so you're an international student.
yeah.
Yeah, from Tunisia. How many Tunisian students are there here? Do you have any idea?
None.
Just you?
I've not met a single one.
Yeah, I rarely come across Algerian students, Tunisian students,
Yeah.
Libyan, Moroccan students.
Yeah.
Moroccan a little more often, but
Well, there are like 7 times more of them than Tunisians or Algerians.
yeah, y'all are kind of. All right, so here's what I want you to do. You know how we're always just throwing the things around like race groups and ethnic groups and like how we're just tossing it around, right? We talk about the this group and the that group, and we're always trying to divide the world into various groups. Okay, so I want you, just in the way you see the world, the way you make these divisions and the way you do it, what I would like you to do is go out into the classroom and pick a representative. You're going to do this separately, okay? You can go up this side, you go up that side, and I want you to pick a representative from the groups that you think either exist or are most important. So I want you to think about, okay, the categories for me, right? The racial categories for me, right? However you do it, right? Like everyone has a different way of doing it, right?
Do we divide it up by gender as well or not?
You're gonna pick. So again, so you all need to understand this, because if they pick, can I do something here really fast? If they pick you, can you promise to come up to the front? Okay, is that cool? Like you're not gonna have to talk. You're going to have to say where you're from or what your ancestry is, but you're not going to have to do anything else, okay? So a representative, so you have to think in your mind, like, okay, I'm all the racial groups in the world, and I got these boxes here, however many you have, maybe, and you got to find someone who you think fits in that box. Yeah, whatever boxes you have, and then ask them to come to the front. And your people are going to be here, and his people are going to be there. Yeah, you can just stand over there. Oh, wait, hang on. You said no? Dude, come on, dude. This guy. He was already up there. Yeah, okay. Come on, you come. You can bring your candy bar. Come on. Wait, were you up here before?
Yeah.
Okay, she was up here too. Wait, hang on. Who was? Pick another black person who hasn't been up here. You got to go fast, though. He's already... Dude, are you done? No, he's busy. Go ahead. No, you can't ask. You can't ask. You just pick. Yeah. I just said black person because I knew you were going to pick at least one black person. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do that. You know what I mean? That's the motherland. Wait, you're on this side. You're going to be over here with this guy. This is the dividing line right here, Mom. Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Where's Aziz? Dude, I can't wait to hear. Can you focus over here? I can't wait to hear the difference between these two right here.
Why does he think that? He's not idiot.
No, hang on. We'll figure it out. All right. So this is Anna's typology of race that she's picking out right now. Go ahead, keep going. Or maybe you're done. Whatever. I don't know. And you know what's kind of interesting? Keep going. Is that it? Keep going. Like, dude, because you can't use yourself, by the way. Yeah, you can't use you. Dude, shit. Dude, what the fuck? Are you done? You got yours? Those are your peeps? Yeah. Look, first off, what's awesome here is what you all should be doing. Can you just focus over here? Bro, hang on. Focus, just go down the row with each person. Anna, you got this, man. You got this. So you can't ask people, though. Don't ask them. Just go down the row, like what we're looking at here. Yeah. And what you should be thinking about for yourselves is like, okay, what is the race typology, right? We're thinking about bodies and morphology and so on. What is the typology? You got it? Oh, you got this guy here too, and this cool sweater? All right, is that it? All right, man. You ready? Bro, you go back over in the back. Go in the back, behind them, yeah. Because we have cameras in the front. All right, so here we go. Anna, we're going to start with you. So what I want you to do is, what I would like you to do, hang on, go down. By the way, can I tell you why I think this is really interesting? Because here we are in the seventh week of the semester, 8th week, somewhere around there. What? And like we haven't talked about the number of racial groups, what constitutes a racial group, what constitutes the difference between ethnic group and racial groups. So we have ethnic, racial, ancestry groups. Like we haven't done any of that. Like we haven't touched on it, and yet we're talking about it all the time. You're talking about it all the time. You're talking about these people and those people, and we don't agree on stuff. Like we've never really asked about it. So here it is that we have an opportunity. Hang on, gents. So we have an opportunity to say, like, all right, how would I classify the world? Like, how am I going to break down the world? So when I see someone walking down the street, or when I watch somebody on television or a movie or a performer, like, what am I thinking about who they are and what they are? So here. Yeah, one more person? Yeah. Dude, here, you stand over here. Bro, you guys. Okay. So why don't we start? We're going to start with you. What's the racial group that these people represent?
So,
and you're going to pass that down and you're going to say who you are. Start with this guy right here.
So, yeah, I know that he's Pakistani, so he's like a little, he's not like, I count him as Middle Eastern a little bit, but he's not Middle East, so he's more in the more east area.
Okay.
So like where India and Pakistan are, and
so he represents South like kind of South Asia, we say.
Along with him too.
So you got two guys.
Yeah.
What's the difference between them?
There's well, from what I've heard from Pakistani people, they really do not want to be grouped in with Indian people, and so do Indian people not want to be grouped in with Pakistani people.
So this guy's Indian. So these guys don't want to be grouped together.
I'm sorry, I assumed that.
You're Indian,
are you
right?
Indian?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So they don't want to be grouped together. So
that's
separate groups.
From what I've heard.
Okay, I got you. All right, go ahead. And how about these two here? Wait,
Okay.
hang on, bro. So you're from Pakistan. We know that. From India. All right. Okay.
So I'm doing this based purely on what I see and not like what I asked.
No, I got you. No, this
So-
isn't about what you've studied, right? Because none of you have studied. How many of you have studied all of the racial typologies? Like, how many of you could say, like, oh, yeah, I know the exact racial typologies and where people are from? Okay, so, yeah, so
Yeah.
you're just pulling it out. Dude, you pull it out of your rear end, just
Yes.
like the rest of us.
Yeah.
All right,
So I chose her to represent white Americans.
White Americans.
Yep. White Americans.
Got you, white Americans.
Gingers and Irish people.
All right. Dude,
Black Americans.
wait, do you say gingers in Tunisia?
Yes.
All right.
We.
Do you have gingers in Tunisia?
Not very often, but when we do, we call them gingers.
Dude, is that a derogatory term?
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Is that a derogatory term?
I'm gonna feel like it's a little bit derogatory in this sense.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Bro, do you think it is?
I don't even know, bro.
All right. Wait, where your family? Where's your family from?
United States, but origin is Irish, German, and Swedish.
Okay, got you, man. All right.
And I chose him to represent Black Americans.
Okay.
I know
Are
he's-
you American?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Are you a DJ, by the way?
No, I ain't no I don't even make music.
Yeah. All right, dude. We got to get you, dude. Nitty. Next semester, we got to hire this guy to be the course announcer. All right. All right. This guy.
Chinese people represent almost 1.5 billion people, so
All right.
need to have them up here.
Hold it close, dude.
Yep. So I assume she's Middle Eastern. I don't know. Okay, from the way I looked at her, I thought she was Middle Eastern, but I guess I was wrong. So that's
Okay,
what
what's
I
your
chose her to
ancestry
represent.
again?
I'm from Dominican Republic, so I'm
Yeah.
Hispanic.
Okay, you were close, dude.
Yeah. No,
All right.
not at all.
All right.
So she told me she's Taiwanese. Taiwanese. I thought she was Korean at first.
Okay.
So I put her up here. So just to diversify Asian groups a little more.
All right.
I asked from that group, that huge, section over there, who
Oh,
here,
you asked. You weren't supposed to ask. You were supposed to just pick. But go ahead. Whatever.
who here is German or something like
Yeah.
that. She raised her hand. She's like, I'm German.
Dude, wait, hang on. Tell me what's the difference between German and Irish? Let's assume you're Irish. We're going to go back to your great grandparents or whoever they were. What's the difference? This is big because this is a Tunisian guy. Like he has a different vision for this than say like Europeans or somebody, right?
So, personality mostly.
Personality. Okay. So all right. So we're talking about race.
I know. I'm generalizing, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
personality.
Got it. All right, man. So wait, are you? So, what's your background?
I'm German.
Oh, German. All right.
And he's from America, but I chose him to represent black Africans, and I'm here representing North Africans.
Brown Africans.
Yeah.
Dude, see that? You get to represent. Where are you from? What's your ancestry?
So my mom's from Yemen and my dad's from Tanzania.
Dude, you were close. So half of them really does represent. Yeah. In Yemen, almost. I mean, not quite. All right. Okay, cool. All right, Anna, how about you?
My
Let's see. Who are
representation's kinda bad.
these folks? Who do
Okay.
they represent to you?
I chose him to represent white people.
White people.
Just white
The
people.
white race.
Yeah, the
Got
white.
you. Okay. No distinctions, right? That's fair. No, that's fine. Listen.
I had a little bit of tunnel vision. I chose him to represent Asian people,
Asian people.
not including Indians.
Bro, and you are, can I assume you're white?
Yeah.
White American?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if you really want to get into it, but I don't think it's that important, Hungarian background. But
All right, okay.
it's white.
Got it. Yeah, you had your middle, hey, can you do a close-up on his face?
Oh, God.
No. Right, this is the,
I got the hunky eyes.
yeah, no, you got right here. See how it's right? It's kind of like you could be really spread out. Or right here, that's really emblematic of Eastern Europeans, which is awesome, by the way. It's cool. Yep. Okay. All right. Go ahead. And here? Wait. You go this way. Who's this
Okay.
guy?
He's Taiwanese,
He's
represents-
Taiwanese, but you represent
Asia.
Asia.
Yeah.
All right. All of Asia, dude.
Not all of Asia. Well, not including India,
Oh, okay. All right, got it. East Asia.
because they're
All
very
right.
populated.
Okay, got it.
I chose her to represent black people.
Black people. And Clay, are you lumping together black Africans,
and
Americans,
yeah.
Latin
I couldn't find that
Americans?
many people.
No, that's fine. But no, listen. No, but that's fine. So you would take people of sub-Saharan, because he's African, right? So you would take all black people, what we call black people, and put them in one group.
I mean, I wouldn't if I had a chance to ask around, but
No, but
For
okay.
this-
But that's fine. Yep. All right.
she's Indian, so I have her representing that.
She's representing India.
Yeah.
So he's East Asia, she's South Asia, which is a lot of people. It's like 1.4 billion people. And this guy?
What's your ethnicity?
No, you have to say, who's he represent?
Okay, he looked a little Middle Eastern to me.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I have him representing Middle
you
East.
have Middle East, you have South Asia, you have
three groups in
origin in
Asia.
sub-Saharan Africa, right? You have East Asia, you have Europe. Kind of like,
I need to find people from South America.
Yeah.
no, but
If I had to
I had
add
a little
people, it'd be
trouble.
South America. Even though I have her.
yeah. Well, you accidentally had her.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You can borrow her, by the way, if you want,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so here's what's really interesting, right? From this exercise. Now, mind you, there's no right or wrong answer here. You know what I mean? Like how if you had unlimited time, how many people do you think you would pick out? Both of you actually. How many groups do you think you would identify?
Not more than 12 or 13, probably.
12 or 13?
Yeah.
So you're close here, actually.
Yeah, I would have to add probably one more, European, like probably Spanish or...
Dude, you're
easy-
into this dividing Europe up, man. I mean, you got Ireland, you got Germany, you're going to bring the Iberian Peninsula in.
Or Greece.
Does
maybe.
that I wonder if that's a Tunisian thing, because like European, we don't divide it up like that. Maybe we'd pick Russia out, because then you get the whole...
Okay, this is going to sound pretty fucked up, but...
No, it's going to...
it's
No,
gonna
say
sound
what it
pretty
is.
bad,
'Cause
when I asked for German, I kind of clumped Eastern Europe with Germany, so
Okay.
kind of includes Russia with that.
Okay, all right. Okay, got you.
That's how I...
Okay, no, in your mind, that's how you
Yeah.
did it. And how many groups do you think you would pick if you could?
Probably,
How many
probably
different?
10.
10?
I would add someone from Africa, someone from South America.
Well, you got Africa here.
Or
From actually Africa.
yeah.
Okay.
Separate black Americans from Africans.
Okay.
And I had an idea. I forget.
And South
Maybe
America?
someone from Russia.
Russia?
Yeah.
All right, man. Okay, so listen, man. This is so random. This is so random. You guys, all right. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. You can have a seat. Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming up, man. Thanks for coming up, Doug. Yeah, you guys stay here. Thanks, Doug. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming up. The German goes last, dude. Because that's my German roots. You know what I mean?
What about Native American?
Dude, okay, so here we go. Ready? Go to the next slide. So I want to ask the two of you. Let me walk you through. So here's a map of human evolution. First off, to those of you who ascribe to a creationist perspective, which would be the idea that, there is a God that lives, I don't know, the God that was created by another God, or a God that created herself. I don't know where God came from, but whatever. There's a God or some energy force, and that God created all of this world, whatever that means. Then you don't have to reject evolution, because at some point in time, God can this life form can start this process, and then human beings can transform, like in our physical appearances and so on. We can transform over the course of time. Okay, so it doesn't take a huge leap of faith, but the idea is Africa is the motherland. Okay, and there are all sorts of we're continuing to discover lots and lots of different things, different information about how the whole process went. Because we not only are we endlessly discovering new fossils, but we're also endlessly developing a new understanding of evolution from genetics. Right. So here's the idea: human beings start right here, somewhere in Africa, and then somewhere around, there are different lines, Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, there are lots of Homo neanderthalis, but at some point in time, Homo erectus, maybe around 200,000 years ago, starts leaving Africa. First off, understand, this guy, hang on a second. Can you just pop up here really fast again? I just want you to just see this really fast. Can you? This is really so these are both Africans. You really got to understand, right? These are both Africans. He's African, right? Even though he's considered by many people to be white African, he's African. Okay, he's more African. Wait, what's your ancestry again? I don't remember.
I'm Afro-Latina, so I'm
Afro-Latina.
I'm from. Oh, is it on or it's on? Okay. I'm Afro-Latina, so I'm from Panama, and my ancestry is descendant of slaves from Africa.
Okay, it's from Africa, right? But
Yeah.
have you ever been to Africa?
No.
Okay, so this guy's more African than she is. Sociologically, for sure. She's never been to Africa, dude. He's from Africa. He's African. You know what I mean? And if he decides, hey, I'm going to stay here in the U.S., he'll become African American. He'll become like African American. He gets like the double African. You know what I mean? Whereas you're Afro-Latina. But your connection to Africa is like, okay. I mean, there's a lot of connection, mind you. Lots of stuff in Panama. Okay, all right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So listen. By the way, Tunisia's up here. Okay. So when you think about Africa, Africa is the most genetically, biologically diverse continent in the world. There's more diversity among humans in Africa than anywhere. So when we have this idea of just Africans, like, oh, Africans, they all look a certain way. Well, remember Aziz here, okay? There's an immense amount of genetic diversity, okay? So then human beings start rolling out. There's no borders here. Got it? There's no countries. So like, Anna, when you said, I would have thrown someone in from Russia. So so we think about Russia here, but like, what's Russia? Like, right? Like, what's Russia? We're hundreds of millions of years of evolutionary process. Like, what's Russia? It's not about nations. We're talking about biological groupings of people or groups of people based on their biology. So what I heard the two of you saying, you were using regions, then you were using continents, and you're using countries, and you're like sort of all over trying to pull this together. But this is the human evolutionary map. And then, so Homo erectus, they go this way, they go this way, they go here, they go down here, all the way out here, across the Bering Strait. Did you say Native American? No. Oh, you said what about Native American? Would you have chosen someone who's Native American?
If I can find one, but I don't know. Is anyone Native American here?
Yeah. All right.
No.
And most people who think they're Native American.
I mean, I'm sure there are some that have like DNA, Native American DNA,
For sure.
but like no one would, I don't know, identify as one.
Okay, and so here we go. Cross over the Bering Strait, come down here. The difference and so here's something that's kind of interesting. The DNA, if we study the admixture of people who are here and people who are here, it's the same thing. It's the same group. But one's on the Asiatic side, one's on the American side in Alaska, so they become Americans, they become Asians. So then what are they? But their DNA is exactly the same. It's kind of like here in Mexico. So the very first biogeographical ancestry testing that I was part of back 15 years ago, where, we get a map of your DNA, and then we... Did you do that? Did you do that? Like 23andMe? Oh yeah? Okay, awesome, man. I should have had you bring that in. Okay, so then what you do is like you want to kind of get a sense of where if you have genetic markers from one particular area of the world. And when we were studying Native Americans, do you have any Native American blood? The blood that was drawn to assess whether people had Native American blood was actually blood from samples from people in Mexico, because it didn't matter, because the border is artificial, right? So in any case, we go here, around here, and this is the group, right? So now, here's what I want to ask the two of you. Looking at this map, how many racial groups are there in the world? Racial groups.
Sociologically speaking, I think that there are almost too many to count.
Uh-huh.
But
and why
here's
is
the
that?
thing. Genetically, we're all almost identical by a differential of 0.01%.
Uh-huh.
Like, the difference between a black person and the person that's as white as snow is almost nothing, genetically speaking.
Uh-huh.
So if you're asking, is there only one or are there many? I would have to say it's up to whether you want to define racial groups by genetics or where they're from.
Okay. All right. Anna, what would you say? And by the way, can I just say something here? Can I say something? This is Anna. She's 18 years old. So if you're watching the stream, right? She's 18 years old, sitting in this classroom, talking about it. I just asked her a question that PhDs sit around and ask. So at best, Anna, all I expect for you to is have some wild answer out from wherever you grab it, because these are questions that we talk about at such a different level. So anyway, go ahead, man. How many racial groups would you pick?
I mean, if you're just looking at the graph, I think there's 17 arrows including
you
the
would go
red
with the
zone,
arrows.
if you're like specifically talking about the chart.
Okay, so you picked that out. Okay, so hang on. Now I'm going to say those arrows don't mean anything. They're just random. Yeah, they're just random. They're just up there. So like whatever, to show which direction populations went. Like for example, in India, kind of what we know is that there was a migration this way, and then they came down into the subcontinent there. So yeah. Okay, so now I just said that. Now how many racial groups would you pick? But that was a good guess. Like that's kind of cool. All right.
Probably wouldn't be able to count then. I would agree with him. If the arrows mean nothing, then they could all split up and, I guess, evolve differently, slightly. With different characteristics.
Okay. So let me ask the two of you. Where does Europe end and Asia begin?
In the middle of Russia somewhere.
Somewhere right here?
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Wait, hold on.
Anna, what would you say? Where does Europe end and Asia begin?
Okay, see the arrow?
Push that top thing right there.
Right here?
Right there?
Well, it depends on if you include the Middle East in it.
Okay, all right. I got you.
No.
All right, so right in there. All right.
Depends.
That's fair. So same thing. There are infinite number of racial groups. Okay. All right. I think what I would say that's really the way to go, because when I look at this map, I'm like, I don't know. It's all just random. How do you pick it out? And including racial groups, we mostly don't even talk about racial groups anymore. What we talk about are ancestry groups, because what we really want to look at is like the area of the world that your ancestors were from, the part of the world, right? We talk about, so that's like geography and so on. Then your biology, what your body type looks like, your morphology, right? Your phenotype, your genetics, right? Your family history. I mean, all these things come together, and then we just start talking about somebody's ancestry. And then, like, how do you make that determination? Like, you look in this classroom, like, how literally would you divide the world up, this classroom up into separate groups?
Well, I think the reason why there are racial groups to begin with is because, all right, this is gonna sound crude, but when I was picking out people earlier, I was using my racism to identify racial groups. It is
Your
like,
racism. What do you
yeah,
mean by
racism.
that?
Like, oh, okay, so you have orange hair, so you're a part of this group that I identify, that I block in with everyone. You have this skin tone, so I assume you're from this place. You said we can't ask questions, and you're kind of using your bias and racism to do so.
Okay, but how about just your generalization, like what you know? I wouldn't call that racism. I would call it just, yeah, it's not racism at all, right? You're seeing people's physical appearances, and you're saying, where do I think people with those physical appearances come from in the world? That's not racism.
Yeah, like if you were to have parents that were, you know, for example, black and Middle Eastern, you'd kind of have a hard time identifying what racial group they belong to.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yep. All right, dude. Awesome, man. Thanks. You're done. You got it. Thanks. Awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right, you ready? Santi. What is it? Santi. Santi. Can you two introduce yourselves?
Oh, well, my name is Santi. I'm a human development and family studies major, and I'm a senior here at Penn State.
A senior, bro.
Hi, guys. My name is Weston. I'm a first year, and I'm majoring in meteorology.
Dude, first year in meteorology. Okay, awesome, man. Here's what we're gonna do. Can you just run into that back? Just turn them off. Take them with you. Just run through that. Just go through that door really fast. All right. All right, man. Here's what we need. I need two or three Africans and three Africans and three African Americans. Oh, dude. Oh, totally. Okay, you for sure. Who else? Two. No, not Aziz. Somebody else. Dude, were you up here already? No. I need Africans. Who's African? There's a woman from. Three Africans, really fast. Who do we got? Dude. Yeah, just. Wait, who else? Yo. Yeah, come. All right, and then wait, one more though. There's somebody else. All right, come on. Wait, African? Wait, hang on. No. It's sub-Saharan black African. Are you black African? No, you're in. Someone who's black African. Okay, come on. Okay, and then three African Americans. Dude. Are you African American? No, wait, hang on. You were just up here, right? Yeah. No, wait, who's African American? Three African Americans. Just come down. Dude. You're African American, right? Come on. Dude. Are you African American? Wait, just three African Americans. Can I just get somebody? Where are you from? Where? Like the Caribbean. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah. No, yeah, that's good actually. Yeah, that's better. No, this is good. Yeah. Where are you from? Well, hang on. Now, are we good? We have four. I need one more African American. Okay, come on. Okay, you ready? All right, Nitty, can you bring them out here? Okay, so here. Oh, it's all women too, man. Okay, so here, just spread out here. And mix. Wait. Here, come down here. Just spread out. Right, this right there. Okay, awesome. Hey, so here's what I want the two of you to do. So, pick out who in this group of lovely human beings here is African and who's from the Americas. You just got to look at face, morphology, et cetera, like who?
And you mean like international or
Yeah, you know, they're like 100%. The Africans, your parents are from Africa. Like they are like, boom, Africa. There's no blood in them from the Americans. It is all Africa. And is it evenly split? Yes, 3 and 3. So you can't talk about it. You just pick your 3 out and you pick your 3 people out. Don't take too long, man. But you're allowed. Come look at. You can really look at. Hang on. Are you guys okay? Are you cool with it? Right? Cool. Yeah, dude. This is like Africa power here, y'all. So, dude, you got that right. All right. So, yeah, they're good. Look at them closely. Look at their faces. Look at everything. Dude, this is like this is what we do. You know, this is just. Is anybody uncomfortable right now? Going like, oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this? And there's actually a pretty cool little lesson right here. Would this have been, you got your 3? All right, let's go. I mean, you got your 3? Okay, wait. Who's your 3? 1. Wait, she's African?
Yes.
Okay, African?
2.
African?
Yes.
And African. African. Okay, go ahead, bro. Who's your...
Okay, my 3 would be the same people, except I think that she's African and she's American. So I think African, and African.
All right, let's see, man. And where do you think who do you think, where do you think the other 3 are from? African American, Afro-Caribbean, Afro... So we're looking at... Yeah, where do you think? How often, by the way, can I ask you a question? Yeah. Santi, yes. How often do you pay attention to black people? No, like really. How often do you look at people's faces and like really, just say, like
in general?
Yeah, like really look at people and be like, wonder where he or her is from.
Not that much, just because it might be like a conversation, because like I'm mixed myself. So it's like if we're talking about black culture, it's just a conversation instead of just guessing.
So wait, so when you think about, let me ask you a question. Yeah. How often do you look at white people and think like, I wonder where that person's ancestry is
Almost
from?
never.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever traveled to Europe?
No.
Has anyone ever traveled through Europe, done like a Eurail pass kind of thing through Europe? You have, right? Do you know, bro? Wait, have you been to a lot of countries? Do you like, did you notice anything about white people?
Yeah, there's obviously different types of white people, especially when you go through like Italy, France, Spain, Portugal. Like it's a big cultural difference.
And what do you notice?
I can tell, like now I can tell people, like where people are from.
Yep.
Like
okay.
just looking at people, like I can tell, like my professor's Spanish, and I can like tell he's Spanish without like...
Dude, the woman to your right there, hang on. Can you zoom in on her? Can you tell where she's from, the blonde woman?
Right here?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
I would say probably Ireland.
Ireland.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or somewhere around there, like England.
Yeah. I don't remember. She's not from Ireland. Her face said, you're not Irish at all.
Oh, I was talking about her.
Oh, her. Oh, you think she's Irish?
Yeah.
Are you Irish? No. All right. It was all right, though. Yeah. But she could have been, though, dude. No, listen. No, hang on. I shouldn't have left you out. Sorry, dude. I shouldn't have left you out to dry like that. Because you're right. Like, it's when I first started traveling through Europe that I started to, just like you, I started to say, wait a minute, all these people are different. And I don't necessarily get it right, but I know that, but I've spent enough time in Europe because I've lived in Europe, and that I know that there's these really distinct differences, right, in people. So, all right, man. So we ready? All right, man. Tell you can take the mic. Tell them where you're from and
like
your ancestry. Yeah. Just what's your background?
Oh, like my mom grew up in Brooklyn, and then my dad grew up in Guyana. So like
grew up where?
In Guyana.
In Guyana.
Oh, nice.
Okay, all right. And so, how do you identify?
Guyanese.
Guyanese? Yeah. Wait, is your mom Guyanese?
No,
you grabbed onto the Guyanese thing. Why? Because it's cooler than being like from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I can't claim
You can't claim anything. Yeah, what are you going to be, like a Brooklynite? I'm a Brooklynite. Dude, see, it's not just white people that do that, by the way. You know what I mean? We're always grabbing onto something. So that's cool. And Guyana's cool. Yeah. It's awesome, in spite of Jim Jones. But you know who he is, right?
Jim Jones?
Yeah.
I'm from New York. I know that much.
All right, okay. All right, go ahead.
I'm from America. I don't know like any specific African lineage or country.
Did you say she was African American?
Yeah.
You both said African American? Dude, okay.
Wait, no.
You said African. Dude, all right.
Both of my parents are from Ghana.
From Ghana.
Yeah, West Africa.
Yeah.
I met you on the first day, didn't I?
I think so, yeah.
Both your parents are from Ghana. How often do people from West Africa know that your parents are from West Africa or you are?
Like when I go to Ghana?
Yeah, like around, like African Americans. How many African Americans?
Oh, African Americans?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people will realize that I'm African.
Yeah.
Until I tell them. Especially when I go to Ghana, they're like, you're American.
You're American by the way you walk.
Yeah,
and stuff,
like
right?
as soon as I walk, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Dude,
Both of my parents are from Nigeria.
she's totally Nigerian, man. Yeah, wait, did you pick that out? I did. I knew you were Nigerian immediately, right? It's like your eyes, the whole thing. You're totally Nigerian.
Oh, you're not gonna say where? Hello.
Yeah, where?
I'm from Benin City.
Yeah. So you actually came here from Nigeria?
Oh no, I'm from Georgia.
Okay, I got you. All right. Okay, cool. All right, man.
I'm from America. Both of my parents are black. I'm black as far as I know.
Dude, as far as you know, you are
If I
black.
had to guess, I would say Nigerian for sure, but I don't know. I'm
they
gonna do
not?
a 23andMe.
You did 23andMe?
No, I'm going to do
Oh, you should do it. Wait, did you pick African American or African?
No, he said American.
American?
She said African.
You said African? Yeah, dude. Okay, now, wait, what'd you see in her? African? Wait, why is she African? What do you see in her? Can you make sure you get a close-up? Wait, hang on, not that close, dude. Hang on. All right. Dude, what did you see in her? Wait, hang on. Do you mind, by the way? We're getting a close-up of you? No, you do mind or you don't mind? Yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah. What do you see? Ethiopian, Eritrean.
It was just like her facial structure that tipped me off.
Yeah? Okay. All right, here. We'll go over this way. Facial structure? What about her facial structure? Here, compare her to her.
Like I see like a pronounced forehead, kind of.
Uh-huh.
And that was the main thing. Yeah.
All right. Dude, this is how anthropologists talk. This is how listen, can I just give you something here really fast? When I am with this dude, awesome. Yeah. Here, hang on. We're going to say where you're from, by the way, in a second. What's really cool about this, I'm giving you, this is how anthropologists talk. Like we get together, we talk about people's morphologies. We talk about like this guy right here, like Weston. We talk about his nose. We talk about look at his nose right here, the bridge of his nose. Look at it this way, right? We talk about we talk about the bridge of his nose. We talk about the width of his nose. We talk about his forehead. Is it pronounced? Is it not pronounced? Like all sorts of things. Like this is how we talk about faces, right? And how we talk about bodies. And so it's just normal to do that. Like it's okay. It's not racist. All right, man. What's your name? Wait, we didn't get everyone's name, but go ahead.
I'm Samal, and I am Ethiopian and Eritrean.
You're Ethiopian
Eritrean.
and Eritrean. By the way, not the same country. All right.
Yeah, my dad's side is Ethiopian, and my mom's side is Ethiopian, but her mother's side.
Wait, hold it closer.
Oh, my dad's side is Ethiopian, and my mom's side is Ethiopian, but her mother's side has Eritrean.
Is Eritrean?
Yeah.
So before like the main division, so do you know how to make injera?
I don't know how to make it, but
Does your mom make it?
yes.
Is she really? Are you going home for the Thanksgiving break? Can you bring me some? Just a little bit. Can you tell them what injera is? Do you know what? Wait, do you guys know what injera is? Yeah, spongy bread. It's to Ethiopian food like fufu for Nigerians and Ghanaians. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Have you been to Ethiopia or Eritrea?
I've never been to Eritrea. I've been to Ethiopia once when I was 12.
Yeah, cool. I was in Addis 2 times actually. Awesome place. Okay, so here's the thing. Can you put that one slide up? I want to show you all, and you all can just stay up here while I do this. The next slide. Are we froze? Back. Go back one. Yeah. No, one more. Go ahead. Yeah, right here. So listen, check this out. Hey, you guys did great, by the way. So here's the thing. When we talk about, when we talk about Africans coming to the United States during the years of the slave trade, Africans didn't come to the U.S., okay? Remember, Africa's a massive continent. It's a massive land. And Africa is named after the Afri people, and the Afri people are in North Africa, which is just like a random even naming of the who came to the U.S. were mostly, almost entirely, and there's some Southeast Africans, but the vast majority of West Central Africans, people from this region came. None of these borders were here. Those borders were made by Europeans. None of these borders were here. It's people of West Central African heritage. So what I want to show you is, where's Aziz? Aziz. So remember Aziz. Remember what Aziz looks like compared to, wait, what's your name again? Antoinette. Antoinette. Compared to, say, Antoinette, right? Totally different. Look, the Africans in West Africa look totally different than Africans in East Africa. So Ethiopia, Somalia, and Eritrea over here. And so very different. And look, if you really see the difference between these 2 women here, really see, it's like the different, if I bring, we'll do white people in a hot minute. I'll bring a couple, not right now, but we'll bring white people up with 2 very, very different looks, and you really see this. And so the reason I decided to do this is because after the slave trade, suddenly, the DNA of African Americans, who we call African Americans, but Black Americans, who would be the Black Americans. By the way, you understand that, most Black people out of Africa came into South America and Central America and the Caribbean, not North America. And so the DNA, so she's Guyanese. So her DNA is really the same as your DNA. It's the same because the Africans who went to Ghana were really the same Africans that coming out of Nigeria, right? To Ghana and the Americas, whatever, coming out of Nigeria. So you have the same. But what happens is that Africans, here, listen to this. Ready? Yo. Over time, Africans in the Americas started taking on genetic markers of other groups, in particular Europeans. And so what we notice, for example, is when we do DNA testing on Africans here, like say in the Gullah people off of South Carolina, we see really strong, very little white ancestry. But by the time, if we take DNA from Black Americans in Washington or Oregon or something, then we see much more a whitening of Black people, much higher. Hang on. Am I we see a much higher percentage of Black people with white blood. So like you, for example, right? What's your family history?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican and Black.
And Black.
So my mom's Black and my dad's Puerto Rican.
And Puerto Rican, so does he have Indian blood? He must, right? He's got some.
Yeah,
you have white or Indian blood or something. What is it?
It's like 3. It's like Spaniard, Indigenous, and then the African, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So here's Puerto Rico, right? And so but you can see that when you look at Santi, right? I mean, you see her face. You just start to pick this out. It's very different, right? Very different than your face. Very different than her face. It's just like the same thing with white people, right? And again, you get this if you travel through Europe. If you get on an airplane in Ireland, and then you get off the airplane in Moscow or St. Petersburg, you're in Moscow or St. Petersburg. You certainly know you're not in Ireland, man. It's just like, whoa, 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 what happened, right? So similar here, right? So for me, they're often, like I can go around the classroom, when I saw you the first day, I'm like, oh, hang on, man, your parents are from West Africa, because I can see that. When I saw you the first day, I'm like, okay, but I had the idea Nigerian because what's your tribe? What is it? Edo? Okay. So yeah, I can't really pick tribe, but I'm like, nah, so I see that. And for you, when you raised your hand, I knew you weren't African, but I didn't know where you were from. And so because you pick out people whose 100% ancestry is here versus people whose it starts to shift a little bit. So that's kind of cool, isn't it? It's awesome, man. Okay. Thanks, you all. Thanks, man. You rock. You guys stay here. Wait. Thanks, man. Yo, in injera. Just a couple, because you can't get injera here. You know what I mean? I tried to make it one time, you tell your mom. I tried to make it, and I didn't do... Do you want to do that again? Want to do it with East Asians? I'm up for anything. Yeah? Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we just talk about skin color, right? We'll do that, and it'll be too long to bring someone up. Can you go to the last slide? Yeah. So what do you guys know about skin color? Why do we have different pigmentations of skin?
Is due to the amount.
Wait, hang on a second, though. Hey. Gets noisy, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say it's due to the amount of melanin that someone has in their skin. So, white people lack melanin and black people have it to a certain degree or a certain amount.
And what does melanin do?
It colorizes the skin or adds pigmentation.
Mm-hmm.
And it also protects you from the sun. And in areas around the equator, there's more direct sunlight. So people whose ancestry is there evolved to have more melanin in their skin to protect them.
So the idea is that if your ancestors are from certain ancestors going way back, right, are from certain regions where there's a lot of sun, you're going to be
darker.
Because melanin, you're going to have melanin. And melanin, what's it do?
It adds pigmentation to the skin, and then, like Weston said, it protects you from UV radiation. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then why do we need the sun? What's the whole... So, for example, right? So we have all of this... People are really uptight about skin, right? Yeah. Your skin. What do people say about your skin?
Not much, because I'm considered light skin.
Yeah.
So more so in winter months I get a lot paler, and then in the summer I kind of darken a little more when I tan, or I tan easier. But because of my skin color, I haven't faced really any discrimination necessarily.
Do you like to tan?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you put lotion on?
I usually put suntan lotion on and sunscreen.
Yeah. What SPF do you use?
30 and above.
30 and above? Bro, how about you? 100 and above?
Usually it's even I'll have 50 SPF on sometimes and I'll still burn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rarely burn. I think I've only burned once, and that was because I was outside.
Oh yeah, and I'll also burn in April and late September too. Yeah.
Yeah. I burn too, but not in the sun. All right, man. And you, what do your parents say when you get really dark?
Nothing really. They're just like, oh, you got tan. Because I remember one summer I went to North Carolina at Oak Island, and it was really hot that day, and I got like dark in like 2 hours.
And if you burn, what happens?
I don't necessarily burn like stinging. I more so peel.
You peel. All right. All right. Hey, so here's the thing. Like, I think we get like, because we've used skin color as a way to stigmatize people and stratify people. Yo, hang on a sec. Let's feel. Hey, you guys are like, you're just we have 7 minutes left. You're a little bit rowdy today. Just hang on. We got 7 minutes, okay? So a lot of times what happens is when we do a class like this, where there's a lot of people up here and we're talking about these kinds of issues, then people often yeah, dude. Take the headphones out. So, God. Skin is one of those really touchy things to talk about, right? So do people say you have good skin?
Sometimes, yes.
What would be bad skin as a black person?
I think, well, as a black person,
Yeah.
I just think acne-prone skin, like not necessarily by color or how dark you are, how light you are. It's just more so like if you have, cystic acne
Like
or
skin that's not super clear.
Yeah, that's really it.
What's bad skin for a white person?
Yeah, I'd say about the same thing. Yeah, if it's like bumpy and there's acne, that's bad skin.
But also like too white, right? Like if you're too white, like white people, you kind of want to be
Yeah, like the social standard is to be like tan is
a
better.
little bit
Yeah.
tan. Yeah, not too tan, right? But you could be her tan, you could be her skin tone in the summertime for a white person, and would that be?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've never seen a white person who has skin as dark as that.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I mean, it's such a fascinating political conversation, right? So the idea, as the two of you said, is the original Homo erectus had darker skin. But as human beings, it just became favorable for human beings to lose our hair. And once we lose our hair, then we lose a natural protection from the sun. And skin cancer isn't just a new recent phenomenon. Skin cancer has been part of the human condition forever. Cancers have been around. But people didn't have sunscreen with SPF of 50 back in the day. They didn't have baseball caps. They didn't have easily wear clothing on their bodies. I mean, the sun is barreling down on folks, but you're protected by, like hair on your bodies and really thick hair. But as you lose that, then you got a problem here because you're getting all these ultraviolet rays of the sun, which you talked about. And so you got to protect yourself from that somehow. So the body had kind of a natural way of doing that by producing different skin pigmentations. Melanin is one, right, which is produces darker skin, and it happens to also protect us from the ultraviolet rays. It just does this thing. But we got to have that sun, the ultraviolet rays, because we need it for vitamin D, we need it for folic acid, we need it for calcium. Like those things are essential, right? So what about people? So when you have really dark skin and you go to the northern climate, like up in northern Russia, what happens there?
I'm so sure you just stick out.
You're going to stick out, but what happens to like your body, right? So,
well, you would lose that pigmentation that you had. So if I tanned and then went on a trip to Russia, I'm so sure that I would start to lighten because of the lack of like direct sun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Probably, maybe not in your lifetime, but like, do you ever think about the fact that, bro, do you ever think about the fact, like in the wintertime, State College, like, you know how today is? Today is kind of if you're a freshman, by the way, Anna, this is more typical of State College in the wintertime. Today is. So, yeah. What's that?
She lives in Pennsylvania.
Ah, yeah, you live in Pennsylvania. Okay, yeah, that's where you're from too. Right. So if you're in this kind of weather all the time, the darker your skin, the more pigmentation you have. What do you need to do? What do you need to do?
I'm assuming you would lose it
Well-
or lighten.
I mean, I'm encouraged to take vitamin D pills to kind of get those nutrients that I'm losing because it's the winter. But I feel like that, I don't know if that's specific to.
No. Yeah, for sure. Because listen, we need the sun. The sun helps with calcium, vitamin D, folic acid. And so if you have really darkly pigmented skin and you're in a climate where there's, in the wintertime especially, but anytime where there's not a lot of sun, like in the Netherlands, for example, and you have dark skin and you're not getting that sun, like you're going to need to make sure you go out and get every bit that you can because that sun is really important. So like so people like us, there are public service announcements for Weston and I that say like, hey, if you go out in the sun, make sure you protect yourself from the ultraviolet rays of the sun, because every time you get sunburn, it's a problem, right? You don't want to peel, by the way. Peeling is an indication that you've done damage to your skin, and you don't want to do that. So people like us say like, hey, put that lotion on and protect yourself. Too many ultraviolet rays could lead to skin cancer. But there's an equal PSA, public service announcement, for people like Santi, but less Santi because Santi's skin is more lightly pigmented. But for a couple of the women who were just up here who have much more darkly pigmented skin, the PSA is, look, in the wintertime, when you're living in a place like this where there's not a lot of sun, make sure you go out in the sun and you get that because it's essential for vitamin D and calcium and folic acid and so on. Make sure you go get that. But I don't hear public service announcements for black people on those issues. Like, you don't hear that. Like, we hear it for us, like, hey, skin cancer, but you don't hear the other, which is, hey, you need to maintain your healthy body. You got to make sure you go out and you get that sun, man, get those rays in there. You're protected already. For you, you're kind of protected. But if you have really darkly pigmented skin, you're really protected. So go get the sun. You need as much as possible. By the way, any final comments?
I was just going to say it was kind of like the same thing for COVID. Like my mom started giving me D3 pills because we weren't going outside as much.
Yeah, so people had an idea early on. Hang on, this is the last comment here. Early on with COVID, we saw a higher death rate for dark-skinned people around the world. And the idea was, maybe there's something with calcium. Like there's really something there's a calcium deficiency that's actually giving rise to higher COVID rates. All right, hey, can we give a round of applause? Dude, you rock, man.